On air. Okay, we're on. Okay, you wanted me to start,
Right.
Tibby?
Uh, well, I suppose you want to maybe tell us to go to a certain page and maybe drive us through the new development and show us how to do stuff. And you wanted to do some cleaning into the recipes, remove some.
Yeah, yeah. My goals for this particular meeting are, number one, I want to make sure that you understand the new features, number one, and number two, I wrote some things down about the principles behind some of the aspects of the software with some rules of thumb and so on. Uh, and I want to
Okay.
go through them uh, and make sure that you understand those. And then what I would like you to do, possibly outside this meeting, because I got some other things I want to handle here, what I would like you to do is go through the recipes that you created before
Okay.
and fix them. So that, because one of the things that we want to start doing pretty soon here in this next phase is start generating production schedules from the recipes, and so the way it is right now, they're not going to work right. So we want to fix them
Okay.
so that the schedule now, and this is interactive. I mean, what'll happen first is if they ain't fixed, then you will have some goofy schedules, and so then you'll want to fix them. So this is okay.
Okay.
But at any rate, that's why I start. And so when you start doing that, then I want you to go through and let me know where. I think you can delete all kinds of stuff now. You can change all kinds of stuff. You should be able to fix things. If you can't, then you should yell at me and okay, I need this or I need that. I'm stuck here. And so we get past the stuck points because there might be some, or there's a bug or I broke something, whatever. Okay, so that's that'll be part of shaking down the software a little bit more.
Okay.
Then the next thing I want to do is I want to start working on schedules. And what I would like to do is I had this email interaction and on the Sensorica infrastructure list that the subject line was independent demands, and Tibi wrote me about a process that got started with it started a meeting at the Canadian Space Agency, generated a relationship with Dr. Zhu. Am I pronouncing that name right?
Dr. Zhu, yes.
Yeah, Zhu. Okay. And so that is that's more like what you're actually doing now, which are these not quite so well-defined projects, and so I wanted to I'll either work from that one, or if there's something else that you have coming up, that would be something that you actually have to schedule. In other words, I want to start getting connected more to what you're really doing now, whereas a lot of stuff what we've been doing now is, we're looking at the whole picture, where we're going with all this stuff, and you're still, in real life, you're still in this R&D stage. So I want to start connecting with that some, and then I want to start getting some schedules out there that are stuff that you're actually working on, and that is in preparation for looking at this lab notebook idea. Which I like quite a lot, but I want to see the lab notebook not disconnected from the ongoing processes of Sensorica, but connected to the processes and connected to the tasks that are actually on the schedule, or scheduling stuff from the lab notebook that have to be done. So it's connected to everything else that's going on. So it becomes an integrated part of the system. Is that all? But first I actually want to generate some schedules. I want to get some schedules out there to work off of. So like I say, I could work off of this process with Dr. Sue, or if there's something else that's coming up, you know, that you guys are going to be wanting to do, that would even be better, because this one I think is pretty close to, by the time I get something out there, it'll be pretty close to an end, right? I mean, that's okay, because it is something that's out there, and you know how it worked, and I would like to get that in there too. But I would be very interested in something you got coming up, and we try to define it as you're doing it.
Okay.
So think about that, if there is anything like that, and then we can come. But this is just to put it on the agenda. We don't have to deal with that now. We could go through the agenda possibly in the order that I mentioned things first.
Just the project for Dr. Zhu is maybe it's not the best project for a recipe, because it's a one-shot for now. Maybe there will be more, but I don't think they will need a lot of products like this. We don't know. We hope so, but we'll see soon.
Well, what else is coming up that might be more repeatable?
Testing fibers from Maxim. Maybe?
Okay. Can you describe that briefly now, and then maybe send me an email about it?
Okay. So in December, Maxim and his team, two other students, they are going to pull fibers, optical fibers for us, and we will. It's part of the agreement we have as a grant, collaborative grant. We have to test these fibers and give feedback on them in order they adjust the fibers, pull new fibers, and so it's a loop.
Mm-hmm.
And in December we'll be busy, but we have to start to test some fibers just to have this machine start and show some activity in the project.
Yep.
So there's nothing very difficult, I guess, for us, but it must be done and very well documented.
Yep.
And shared with them.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Have you started documenting it in any form?
Yes.
Yeah, but we don't have a lot on that.
Okay. Well, send me a link to what you have started on documentation.
I'll send you the link right away.
All right, and I will ask questions then from that.
Okay.
All right, good. Okay, so that takes care of that.
Yeah, I think that's a good project because it's the project is just starting.
Yep.
And we have to schedule it anyway.
Yep.
So it would be nice, and it's a high-value project. Zoo's project is just an exploration. He wants us to do a prototype. He will see the prototype, and then we don't know where it's going to go. But this one, it's an ongoing project, and it ties into the mosquito. It ties into everything else.
Cool.
This project will produce new fibers that will be used in new transducers.
Cool. All right. Okay. Yeah. Send me the link. I will ask questions afterwards.
Okay. I'll put the link.
Yeah.
For you in a chat box.
Yep.
Chat box here.
Okay. Okay, good. Got it. Oops, it's kind. Yes, got it. Okay, great. All right. Okay, that's enough for that item for now, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let's think about. Let's look at the. Did you understand the features and options write-up?
You mean what you wrote about it, the text?
Yes. What I wrote about it.
Well,
I think so.
I worked on it on the wiki, so I got a general idea about how
Okay.
it should work.
Okay. Okay. All right. In the, when you are going through and doing your cleanup on the recipes, try it.
Okay, but yes, so I didn't have the chance to go and see how it works on the recipes.
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
I
you're
didn't
going to
do
have to if you want to do the mosquito sensor, you know, as I suggest, as I outlined in that little mini tutorial, you're going to have to clean up the recipe for the mosquito sensor because it's a mess right now.
Okay. It's not a
Now,
mosquito scientific instrument, it's a mosquito
no,
sensor, yes?
mosquito sensor. Yeah. So look at the recipe for the mosquito sensor and I'll show you what I mean.
It's just the one, or I can't...
Just mosquito sensor, there's a recipe out there.
Okay, this one here, so I see...
I mean, I know you're, I'm not trying to be critical here, okay, because I know you're just playing around and that's what you're supposed to be doing, but now we want to start cleaning it up so we can actually generate schedules.
Yes, so should I go view recipe or change recipe?
Well, why don't you do change recipe and we'll just change it.
Okay.
All right. So now the first thing is we got a process that says make electronics for mosquito sensor, and then if you scroll down, down.
Just a second. I'm playing with this at the same time. Okay.
Oops, we lost your, there we go.
So what I see here...
So you got to process, make electronics, and then go down to the bottom.
Okay. I just want to mention, I see that you added delete buttons to...
Yes.
Okay, this is cool.
Yes.
Make electronics.
And you got another process type that make optics for the mosquito sensor.
Okay.
So now both of those processes make a mosquito sensor. Mosquito sensor is the output of both of those processes. So if you do both of those processes, you get two mosquito sensors, one with an optical layer and one with an electronic layer. You don't get a mosquito sensor with both. You understand what I'm saying?
So
is that clear or not clear?
No, can you repeat this one?
If I get an independent demand for a mosquito sensor,
okay,
and the system gets an independent demand for a mosquito sensor, and it sees these two process types, okay, it will schedule two different processes, one to make optics for a mosquito sensor, and the output of that is a mosquito sensor. And then it will also make one that says make electronics layer for mosquito sensor, and so it will schedule that, and that will also make a mosquito sensor. But
okay.
It will make a mosquito sensor with an one of the mosquito sensors will get an electronics layer. The other mosquito sensor will make an optic layer. So you have two mosquito sensors with one with an optics layer, one with electronics layer. You don't get one mosquito sensor with both layers from this recipe.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So I don't want you to do anything about this yet, okay? Because I'm going to go through and I'm going to look at some other things. Okay, right up above there, you will see process type produced by purchase. Okay, and then you have, now then keep going up, and so say then it assumes input. It consumes a purchase. It's something called purchase connector, and so basically we got an optical connector. Okay, it says it's from FIS, so you actually going to buy that from FIS, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so the first change I want you to make is go down there, see where it says input consumes purchase connector. Delete that.
Where do I see that?
Right
Less,
down. Right
less line.
there, that one.
Yeah.
That so okay, that one. Delete it.
I suppose it's deleted now. Okay.
Yeah, okay, now that's deleted. Okay, now you see there's produced by purchase, process type produced by purchase.
Yes.
Okay, delete that one. Okay, this goes back to those ground rules. Don't put purchasing on the recipe. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so, all right. Yes, delete
Because
it.
it propagates, so I delete it.
Yeah, yeah. If it's gonna delete something else, then I let you know it's gonna delete something else. Delete it anyway. That's fine. Okay, now go
Yeah.
back down to the bottom there. Okay.
So should I delete these purchase resource types, or should I delete it?
Yeah, you can. Yes, yes. Anything that says purchase as a resource type is not a resource type. It's an exchange. We're gonna have exchanges going in here. You know, it's eventually. Now, what you got for optical fiber there, where you got a source FIS, that's what you want to have for things that you're going to purchase. So okay, so scroll back down where we were. Scroll down. Okay, there's an optical connector. Now you're going to buy that from FIS, right? So add a source for optical connector. Up.
Oops.
No. Cancel. We don't want to delete that yet.
Yeah, no, I have a problem with my browser. Sometimes it doesn't show me the whole picture.
Yeah.
I delete it. Okay.
Okay, so scroll back down. I just
Add a
want to finish. Scroll
Add a
down.
source.
Okay,
Yeah,
there. Okay, add a source.
Here.
Yeah. And you're probably going to get that from FIS.
Oh, so that should be an agent.
Mhm. It is in the list.
Okay. What is the score, Bob?
Don't do anything with that. That will get accumulated over time. So back up where the agent is, you want to select FIS as okay, you got it. Yeah, and then they don't produce it, they do something else. What do they do?
Provide.
Yeah, let's see what they got.
Or supply.
See what you got for relationships.
They produce, provide, or supplies. So
yeah, whatever you like. I mean, you can have whatever relationships you want there, and then what's the lead time for that, and then if you know the value and the unit of value, you can enter those, or you can ignore them.
So I think the proper term here is a supplier, right? That's the proper relationship.
What do you got? Is that on your relationship list? If you select relationships, there's a little supplies. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't see the. Okay, when I do this, you don't see. Okay, so there's provides, produces, or supplies. So I.
Yeah. I don't see the drop down in
Okay, I thought you see it.
Yeah,
okay.
that's all right. That's okay. Okay, so and then you don't really, if you know what the lead time is, good. But otherwise,
just right.
yeah, okay, fine. If you know the value, whatever. But you don't, we can basically. I'm just trying to get the idea across. This is how you deal with stuff that you're going to purchase.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on, we'll come in and I'll do a write-up on how exchanges are going to work. Because actually we're going to need to have some discussion about how exchanges should work, because you're going to have in-network exchanges and you're going to have out-of-network exchanges. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar? Yeah. Okay. So you know what I'm talking about. They're going to work differently.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have a lot more ceremony for outside of the network exchanges than you are going to be internal. Okay, so that was the first thing. Okay, now I'm going to scroll back up a little bit.
This one, the fiber? We
Yeah,
can
it's
also
got a
add-
source. That's correct. That if you get it from FIS, but you got a source. That's good. Optical fiber is good. Okay, keep scrolling up. There's another one I want to get rid of, at least.
Where?
It was updated here too. I see.
Keep going up, scrolling up. Yeah, I know. We're gonna come through that. That's another interesting thing here. Keep going up. Okay, so here we've got now. Okay, there we go. You got sources of we got the make electronics for mosquito sensor. It says consumes mosquito economic electronics layer. Go back down. That's the one. And then you got sources of people in the network, network members. Okay, and did you understand what I wrote about that, or why you don't want to do that in those rules of thumb?
Can you remind me? Can you remind me about that?
Yeah. Okay. If you do this way, what you will get is these guys are producing this electronics layer. All right, and what you will get is a material contribution of one electronics layer for each execution of this process. You will not get a time contribution from them that is connected to this process. And so all of your value equation stuff is connected to and focused on time contributions. So what you got here is a material contribution. So you would be valuing the mosquito electronics layer, and it's as if they are a supplier, okay, giving you this ready-made. Okay, I think what you want to do here is you want to add a process type to make the mosquito electronics layer, and they are providing electronics work in the process of creation of that.
Right.
And then they will log time contributions.
Okay, so I'm going to delete these resources here.
Yeah, those sources. Delete all those sources. Yeah. And then now you want to add a process type to make a mosquito electronics layer, which could just be called make mosquito electronics layer.
Okay.
And you can come back later and add the descriptions and everything. Okay. And it's going to make one execution of this is going to make one electronics layer.
Okay.
That's the duration,
Okay,
yeah. And eventually I'm going to get you a nice duration widget that that you don't have to figure out how many hours by minutes or something like that. Okay, so now we got that. Okay, so now we need an input of the work, the electronics work that goes into that.
So I see the process type was created here.
Yeah.
And now
you want an input of the kind of work, to be some type of work here.
okay, so I have here in the menu all these resource types.
Yeah, you got electronics work or something, or just any kind, some kind of work that would be involved in this. Just for now, you can come back and
Electronics, so manufacturing, no.
It could be manufacturing work. Could be if you got I mean, what kind of work is it? It's electronics work, right?
Well, manufacturing is everything. It's not necessarily so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I mean, if it requires some specific skills, you know, that are. I mean, I can do manufacturing work.
Oh, I have electronics work here. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I don't think I can do electronics work very well. You know, I'm not a hardware guy. Okay, so then, yeah, and then, how much of that you think would be required? And that's in hours.
So relationship here is.
Yeah. Consults, what is it?
No, yeah, it's not be consulting. It's gonna be
Uses?
it's gonna be, yeah, uses or consumes, whichever you want, whichever makes most sense to you for that. Those terms are, the relationship names are completely up to you. It's like what makes sense to you in terms of reading this as a sentence, you know.
Okay.
Okay, so I put that the resource type electronic work uses 8 hours.
Yeah, okay, great. All right. So then, so let's see if we have any sources for electronic work. We do. Yassine.
Yassine, yeah.
Okay, and he doesn't have a score. Hey, all right. Okay, so good. Okay, so good. We got that. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do here is I want to go up and I just want to delete that whole process. Make electronics for mosquito sensor. Just delete that process.
This one here?
Yep.
Wait a second. So, wait. Okay. So process type. No, wait a second. Which one?
That produced make electronics for mosquito sensor. That one. That's the one. That's the one. Delete it.
Okay. But it's going to delete the whole thing, right?
It's going to delete the whole thing. Yes, don't worry about it. And it's going to delete all that stuff.
Delete.
Yay.
But now that's all we get.
We lost your screen share somehow, too.
Oh, okay. So, it deleted almost everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now the next thing we want to do is we want to make that we want to delete the make optics process.
Okay.
This one here.
Yeah, that's right.
Are we saboting?
We just deleted everything.
Yes. However, we saved some. There are some things that we saved, which will come.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got Tibi as the source for a mosquito sensor. What do we want to do with that? Do we just want to ask Tibi when we want a mosquito sensor? And he'll give us one ready-made.
We need to add a process type, right?
Delete Tibi. Bye-bye, Tibi. Okay.
All right.
Now we want to create a process type which I think if it's an assembly process, and that's what we're thinking about here. You know, maybe just call it assemble. You know, I think
yes.
Yeah, because I think you're going to be assembling from parts here. This is maybe there's more to it than that, but it seemed like to me it was a fairly simple assembly process at the end. Once we get everything else made.
Cool. I like the teaching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So then each execution is gonna all right, and then it's gonna one of them. Okay. So save that.
Okay. Let me ask you a question here, Bob.
Yeah.
So what if we have a quality control process? Once you assemble it, you add another process in parallel. In sequence, right? And you say quality control, right?
that's a really interesting question that's going to come up in these testing things. So let me think about quality control as a process. You know how that fits into these things. I'm taking notes to myself. Because you may actually want to you may want to actually specify tests that should be done and the range of acceptable values for the tests. You know, I don't know how detailed you're going to want to get with that, but let's think about that. All right?
Yeah,
and
I think we have a benchmark. I think we have a benchmark and a description of the process. You know, do this, do this, do that, measure this, measure that.
And that's going to be a gatekeeper. So out of that, you're going to have some sensors that passed and some sensors that failed, and the failed ones may or may not be able to go back for rework, and so there could be a loop in there.
Oh,
you know, so there's a whole bunch of things that have to be considered in that circumstance.
And it don't count as a resource produced, so basically that resource would not be put into the system.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got this. So now what we want to do is we want to add an input to assemble a mosquito sensor. All right. All right, and we want to add as an input the electronics layer.
Okay, so the inputs are all the components, right?
Well, let's start with the electronics layer, because then you'll see where I'm going with this whole thing.
Okay. Relationship.
It's gonna consume that. You know, it'll become part of the sensor.
Using one each. Okay, I got it.
And you want one each, yeah. All right.
Oh, I can see it now, yeah.
All right.
That makes sense. Okay.
Okay, so now look what happens. Oops. Okay, so now we got that stuff we just created coming in here.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So now, and there's also the optical layer, and there's some other stuff. Okay. But the next thing I want you to do here is I want you to add a feed. Yeah.
Can we add the optical layer just to see how? So
sure.
I would press this button here. Yes. Again.
Add an input. Yep.
Add an input, and you add it. Wait a second. Just refresh it. So add an input to a sample mosquito. And I go here and I choose, and I choose
optical layer might not exist as a resource type yet. You may have to create it. Which you have
no, it's here. It's here.
Like green button. Oh, it is? Okay. All right. Excellent.
All right. Okay, there is not much on it, but it's there. Okay.
All right. So and then you can continue with that one. Oops. All right. So now what I want you to do is add a feature. See that button up there? Add a feature to assemble mosquito.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay. And the feature name transducer.
Okay.
Now, you don't actually have an options category called transducer, but are the transducers, are they all categorized as components?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so use component as a category, and you'll use one transducer per mosquito, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Save changes.
You don't specify which one at this moment, right?
Beg pardon?
You don't specify which one.
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay, now select the options for the transducer feature. See where it is?
Select options for the transducer feature. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so here you. Oh, there you go.
Okay, so now pick the options.
Wow.
Can I pick more?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as many as you want.
Okay.
And you can come back here and change this, and but anyway, go ahead. Okay, all right, so now you're going to see those things come in, and then the whole recipe for the joint type transducer comes in.
Yes, yes. Got it.
Okay, now in the recipe for the joint type transducer, there I see a mosquito lever. Okay, so let's scroll down. At one point, there were 2 mosquito lever inputs on this same recipe. And let's see if that has been corrected, or keep going down. Scroll down.
It's still there.
Okay, okay. Delete the one for 1.2 levers. I suspect that's the one that is incorrect. I don't think you actually have 1.2 levers.
No, it was a test I did.
Yeah, okay.
I delete the whole thing. I delete it from the root, right?
Yeah, we'll delete just that input. The recipe for the make lever will stay out there.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so we good? Okay, I'll look at this again later, but I think that's all. I think that will all work now. And you can look around. I'll look around some more, but that'll give you an idea of what I was writing in those principles and rules of thumb. Okay, if you go back and look at them again, you will see, that everything we did here comes from those rules of thumb. All right.
Okay.
So now the next thing you want to do, I want you to look at the view, the sensor. Go back to the resource types page. You can just click on the value accounting up there, and it'll take you to the menu, and then you can get to the resource types page.
Okay. I'm there.
Yeah.
So I go here.
Yep. Okay, so now go to the mosquito sensor, and click on the view recipe.
View recipe.
Yeah. So I put some filters up there.
Oh, okay.
All right. So first, just get an idea of it by looking at by clicking on make the depth be 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now
refresh.
Hit the filter button. Okay.
Okay.
So this will clean up your, if you just want to see, and you can also there's a bunch of other selections there. There occasionally, depending on which types of filters you choose, there are some weirdnesses in the representation. And I said in an email that I'm working on it. I'm not. Lynn is working on them.
Okay.
So she's starting to get her feet wet with coding on this project. So in her voluminous free time, but so at any rate, don't if you see them, don't worry about them. So you can select what you want to see and what you don't want to see, and how many levels. How deep do you want to go, and.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, so here you can see the equipment that is necessary to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Silver coating device.
Yep.
You see, Francois?
Yes. Yeah. So you can play around with that, and if there are weirdnesses in the display or things like that, you can note them and put them on the GitHub issues list if you really want to. But as I say, Lynn is working on it. Also, is going to be working on it. So we are quite aware of most of them. So you can just know that that's being taken care of, we think, and then so it's up to you if you want to note them or not, if you want to raise them as issues.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the stuff that I wanted to go through. Do you have any questions?
Well, maybe you just follow me how I when I delete the where is it? Okay, here. I want to delete that purchase, so that is a resource type.
Yeah.
I just want you to follow me to see if I do.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can do it there, or you can do it on the resource types page. It'll be there. Either way, this will do fine.
Okay. So if I go to purchase.
Up at the top there's there you can find it. But if you go up the top of this page, scroll up to the top.
Okay.
There is a little search thing there. Just type in purchase and click search. There you go. Okay, so now you can click on the you can select all of those. And then you see where there's action. Yeah, click down on that. And delete. All right, go. All right. Yes, you want to delete all of them. All right.
So they're done.
Yep, they're done. Okay. And anything else?
What is our homework? I mean, I will start to, I'm going to take another half an hour here at home because it's fresh in my head, and I'm going to I'm going to continue playing with the mosquito recipe.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll try to add a few things on it.
Yeah, yeah. If you see anything else that violates the rules of thumbs, fix it. If you continue the recipe for the mosquito sensor. Francois was going to send me an email about these tests that you're going to be doing on optical fibers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to think about QC as a process, quality control as a process.
Okay.
If you can, if you guys can write up something about what you think, how you do that, how you think it might work, that would be useful. Otherwise, I'll ask some questions and I'll be thinking about it myself.
Okay.
So what I'm going to be doing next is trying to work through this process of testing the fibers, and seeing how we can fit that in to be scheduled by the system, and so that's I will come back and I will write up a design proposal for how I think that's going to fit, so I get a little bit of more feedback from you, make sure I'm thinking about it correctly, and then I'm going to start working on that. And then once I get a little bit of that stuff up, then I'm going to start roughing out a lab notebook.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can make it. The lab notebook is one of those things that is going to be a process of its own. It's we get started on that, and then people will start using it, and they will find all kinds of things that they would like added or changed or deleted or whatever. And so that will be it will be better once that gets up and running. The more people that we can get starting to use it, which is another reason that I want that to be done in the context of something that you're actually doing, not stuff that you're just thinking about doing. All right?
Yes. Okay, just a second. Options. I also catch something during the presentation. You said that if I added a member as a source, that person will supply a component.
Financial, yeah.
It would be, so, you would get a material contribution, not a time contribution.
Exactly. I just wanted to mention that sometimes that is the case.
That's fine.
So the idea here is, I'll give you one scenario, for example, which is part of the history, our history. So Frederic, he doesn't log time. It's doesn't, it's not in his habit to log time.
Yep.
But he contributed with laser driver, so he spent time on his own, and he made it, and he mailed the thing to us.
Excellent.
So because he didn't log any time, I suppose he could log that contribution as a material contribution.
Yes, it is a material contribution, and then so you have to value that as a material contribution.
Exactly. Okay.
Is
that possible?
Yes, of course it will be. Well, it will be possible. It's not possible yet. I don't have anything for logging material contributions yet, but we will get there.
Is that an exchange? Is that an internal exchange, or is it a contribution?
Beg pardon?
Is that an internal exchange?
Well, it is an internal exchange. The question of whether it's a contribution or not is how they want it to be treated. What is your economic relationship? Does it become is it something that they wish to be paid for as soon as possible? In other words, are they acting like a supplier?
Okay.
Are they basically selling this to you, or they're contributing it to you? Therefore, they would like to be eligible. This would fall into the value equation for distribution of income.
So I think you answered the question. Yeah, it is a contribution. Okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to get money back. He just have that as a contribution to the projects. Okay.
Yeah. That's very cool. I figured in the other situation, the electronics layer, that's not how you meant it. Sometimes that is the case, and that is perfectly legitimate.
And this, I think, is going to become very common, because one of the ways I want to teach us to do development is to go out there and source parts and modules from open hardware communities, and call the guy that made something and we're interested in, and say, hey, I could copy your thing, but do you want to use it as a contribution? So in that way, you value the work of the guy that did it, and you invite him to become a member of Sensorica. He might also, contribute to other projects and so on. So you basically treat it as a material contribution. Send me the device, and we'll treat it as a contribution for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's. I think that's very cool. I just figured that in these other cases, the electronics layer, that's not how you meant it. So it's a judgment call, and it's like what is the actual situation, and number two, do they want to are they going to want to log a material contribution or a time contribution?
Yeah.
And if it's a material contribution, then you have to value the contributed material. If it's a purchase, then then there's a price. You pay the price. When you can pay it. There may be some timing issues, but basically you pay the price. You're buying something. If it's a contribution, then still, for the value equation, you're going to have to set a value for that. For the what was it, laser or whatever that he did, laser driver.
Yeah.
Okay, so he did a laser driver. Then you're going to have to figure out, okay, what is the value of that laser driver?
Yes. Well, this is kind of tricky here because it's a little more than just any material contribution. Well, no, I guess it's the same because any material contribution we want to follow how it is used, right?
Yeah.
So if something becomes a component, part of a product, then it's not just one-time material contribution that is worth the price of that particular object. It's actually a contribution to the design of the device, and it's a contribution to it's one feature basically of the device.
Yeah, and if it's a device, if somebody's giving you a device and that device gets used a lot, the devices don't get consumed by the processes. They just get used. The time. They get the time of use of the device. It's a time-based thing again.
Yeah.
Usually, and so that would be eligible for income distribution based on every time it got used. The more you use it, the more valuable it is. In terms of income distribution. So, those are really good contributions. Both for the standpoint of the network and from the standpoint of the contributor.
Yeah.
It's much better in that case for the if the contributor is going to give you a device, that's going to be used a lot, they're much better off contributing it than they are selling it to you.
Exactly.
Probably. Assuming you ever get any income. If you don't, then it's there's unless they're going to pay, unless you're going to pay them a lot of money, it's probably I would certainly take a chance on putting it into the mix and see what happens.
Well, that applies, I think, to very expensive equipment like some very expensive microscope that Philippe has in his lab.
Yeah.
It costs like $40,000, and
you're
not going to buy that piece of equipment, but you're going to use it whenever you need it. So.
Yep.
Okay. I think we.
Non, Jonathan n'est pas encore au lab. Est-ce que je peux prendre un message?
Okay, so are we okay here, Bob? Or?
I think that we are okay. I think that I have fulfilled all of my expectations for the meeting.
Okay.
If you guys have, I'm still around. I gotta go out and cut up some firewood. So. Before it starts raining here, so. But I'll be around.
Okay.
In and out. Okay.
Mais c'est lui le spécialiste, alors. Ouais. Donc
Okay.
Carlo, comment on écrit le nom? Cava.
Okay, so we done?
Yep.
All right.
Juste une seconde.
See y'all later. Thank you.
Sorry, I was on the phone.
No, that's all right. That's all right. We decided the meeting was done, Francois. Okay with you?
Excellent.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Okay.
Thanks.
See you. Bye.